This beautiful college student vanished without a trace after a night of partying 5 years ago. Her parents have
I can't even imagine what they're going through.
Where are you, my sweet girl? I'm just missing you so desperately.
The mystery of what happened to 20-year-old Lauren Spierer has never been solved.
It's so sad that these are like real cases and like real people. You kind of just like, oh, this is like so nuts.
They know what may have happened.
Lauren was part of a wild party scene, and that in some way or another, drugs and students using drugs led to her demise.
Wow.
The Indiana University student was seen on surveillance video the night of her disappearance in June 2011. She partied at this sports bar and met up with several male friends. But they have lawyered up and aren't talking about Lauren's fate.
What?
Why are they trying to keep quiet? What are they hiding?
Wait, can we pause for a second?
Oh my God.
That's always really interesting. The people that the person was with never end up really speaking out. That's not okay.
That is so entirely sus.
One theory is that Lauren was kidnapped by a biker gang after collapsing in the street on the way to her apartment. Garrett says he does not believe she was kidnapped. He says he was given information from a source that Lauren's college friends hold the key to the mystery.
He had heard that she was at a party, had a bad reaction to ecstasy, died. They panicked and moved her to the Ohio River.
Lauren was only 4'11" and weighed 90 pounds and would have been easy prey in an intoxicated state. Just a few months ago, the FBI dug up farmland in Indiana, but didn't find Lauren's body.
I don't think that she's alive.
A lot of people, when they're partying, are only there to have a good time for themselves, and they don't care what happens to you, and they will cover their as if something goes wrong.
Nothing screams guilt than going silent and hiring a lawyer.
You get lawyered up if you think you're gonna get screwed over.
They don't want to be falsely identified as being guilty because sometimes that does happen.
The biker gang is a very realistic thing, but at the same time, they have no motive per se. And I think it's also kind of like an obvious choice because, oh, biker gang, they're very aggressive. They have to have something to do with it. But I think more realistically, it was probably with somebody that she knew and trusted.
2008. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson disappeared at around 2 a.m. To celebrate the final day of their classes, Brandon and his classmates held a party.
I'm telling you, sus stuff always happens in parties.
At around midnight,
too.
Brandon accidentally drove into a ditch.
Scary. I'm already getting like creeped out.
He allegedly only had a couple of drinks, not enough to account for poor driving or disorientation. After attempting to contact friends to no avail, Brandon called his father. He told his parents that he was close to the town of Lind, a short commute from Marshall, Minnesota, where the 3 family members lived.
Okay.
His parents drove to the location and flashed their headlights to alert Brandon's attention. He reported being unable to see their lights. Brandon then flashed his lights, but his parents too were unable to see anything.
That don't add up.
Throughout this entire period, Brandon and his father were in communication via their cell phones. Brandon then made the decision to walk to a friend's house in Lind. He remained on the telephone with his father. During the call, he allegedly crossed fields as a shortcut. After around 47 minutes of speaking to one another, his father heard Brandon say, "Oh sh*," before the line went dead.
This is so weird.
His parents claim that it sounded as if Brandon had slipped, fell, or dropped his phone. Brian Swanson tried to call his son back several times, but the line rang out. He then searched for his son, but could find no trace of him. Authorities were able to locate Brandon's car via cell phone records. Oddly, the car was nowhere near where Brandon had reported it to be. It was, in fact, 20 miles north of his alleged location.
What?
The farmland and woods in the area all look very similar, which could explain his confusion. Strangely, some sources also claim that all of Brandon's car doors were left open.
For someone to go missing, there had to have been some kind of premeditated factor about it. Foul play, I think, is more of a realistic possibility.
It seems pretty aggressive to intentionally disappear if, like, you have a good enough relationship with your family to call them when you're in trouble.
Like, who calls their parents to disappear?
Obviously, the phone call is a little creepy because it's kind of like he either saw something or saw someone.
If you're in a rural area like that, one of the factors that come to mind is wildlife, and I feel like if he did drown and then washed up a bear maybe came, but there would be evidence.
Or aliens.
Okay, I know this sounds really weird, but sometimes I think it could be something with like UFOs and stuff, because I think it's called missing time, where like people say they're somewhere and then they come back and then they're like, oh, I was only gone for how long, but they were really gone for like how many hours or like how many days. So that theory kind of always goes in my head because I've seen it like on Unsolved Mysteries and stuff.
Okay, wait, okay, you're saying that now and it's like making a lot more sense, because I'm over here trying to like, what is the answer in this case? I mean, he's in the middle of nowhere, right? And for him to like say something real quickly and then it just go blank, the line go like dead, dude, maybe it was aliens.
You think something terrible happened?
I truly do.
It's a mystery with tantalizing clues on tape. 1 minute, this young man was a grainy image on a surveillance video. The next minute, he was gone. And police are baffled.
All the tips that we've received thus far has turned into nothing.
And about 9 p.m. when Brian met up with his friend Clint Florence. The two were former roommates and drinking buddies. That Friday was supposed to be just another night out, as Clint told MSNBC's Rita Cosby.
Me and Brian always went out. There's nothing new. Sat down, opened a tab, and
of course there's drinking involved.
3, 4, 5 shots of liquor.
3, 4, 5 shots.
3, 4, 5.
That he and Brian walked to some more bars and downed some more shots.
I know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
A friend of
shots.
Clint's in tow ended the night at the bar where they'd started.
Oh my god.
This surveillance tape, Brian made his final appearance on the
Everybody
video.
looks drunk in that video.
He was
to be
outside
honest.
the bar chatting with a young
He's in the
woman.
way corner though,
Then
and
he
just
walked
is
out
gone.
of frame and disappeared.
Like, this is so weird. Like, people don't just disappear. There's always an explanation.
Police say it appears he went back into the bar. Minutes later, Clint and his friend got ready to go.
It was closing time about 2:10, 2 o'clock, and Brian was nowhere to be seen.
They told police they called Brian's cell and got no answer. Even checked the bathroom, but no luck. So they left without him.
Okay, okay. First of all, you never leave your friend. Okay, that is wrong.
Saturday passed without a word from Brian. One part of the mystery is how Brian left the building without being caught on tape. Both bar exits are covered by cameras, as is the escalator that leads to the street. Outside the bar, out of camera view, are stairs and an elevator that lead to the
not
first
on camera
floor.
the whole time.
Once on the first floor, the only way out, without being seen on tape, would be through a service exit that leads to a construction site with doors to the street.
It's kind of weird to go out with your buddy and then, where'd he go? Oh, well, he'll find his way home, and you leave.
I would never leave my friend. I would literally wait until we find him, and if we don't find him, you call the cops right away. You don't wait till the next day and just be like, oh yeah, he'll be fine. Like, no, you don't ever do that.
If they were drunk and drinking, the thought of maybe leaving his friend behind wasn't at the forefront of like his to-dos. He just probably felt like leaving was the best option. But I genuinely think that if you are really, really good friends with someone, leave with the same person you came in with.
Unless they're really shitty friends, but girls are usually more used to like looking out for each other.
They said they checked the bathrooms and stuff. I would have just assumed he went home. But going home without saying goodbye, weird.
That was such a creepy episode, but I loved it because I always watch it like this all the time.
I'm getting nervous, I swear to God. I'm driving home in the dark. You guys always see me with scary episodes like when it's after dark and I'm leaving and I'm like gonna walk alone to the parking garage and I'm gonna have my keys in my hand ready to stab someone.
You know, aliens.